In a few minutes, you'll learn a powerful memory technique that will help you memorize faster than you thought possible. And you can start using it today. In fact, you'll be able to memorize an 8-word list like this one in seconds. I'll give you a list, and at the end of the video, we'll compare how many words you can remember after using the new technique. So, I'll call out the list now. Your job is to remember as many as you can without looking back. You can either write them down or say them out aloud, but make sure to note how many you remember. Here's the list: door, phone, cake, shoe, radio, carrot, lion, gun. Pause the video now and write down the words you can remember. Alright, how many did you get? If it wasn't a lot, don't worry, that's totally normal. Stick with me, because I'm going to introduce you to a memory technique that'll help you not only recall all those words, but also remember them in order, and even backwards. And no, it's not cramming or repeating the words over and over. If you've ever tried cramming, you probably noticed it doesn't work as well as you'd hope. In fact, a 2013 study showed that students who crammed were more anxious, performed worse, and forgot what they'd learned much faster. But with the technique I'm sharing today, you'll find it much easier to store information in your long-term memory. And if you stay until the end, I'll share a bonus tip on how to remember anything you read forever. The method I'm sharing today is called the chain memorization technique. It's based on two simple principles: visualization and association. Visualization means creating vivid mental pictures, while association is about linking those mental pictures together in a meaningful or even humorous way. This technique works wonders for memorizing lists, definitions, or concepts. Here's how to memorize with chain technique. First, identify the list you want to memorize. Then, create exaggerated mental images for each item on the list, and then you connect those images in a story where each item interacts with the next by some form of action. The key is to link them in the order you want to remember them. Think of it like building a chain. If one link is broken, it's harder to recall the rest. Now that you know how the chain memorization technique works, let's use it to memorize the list from earlier. Imagine this with me. If necessary, close your eyes and imagine it, because this technique won't work unless you make an effort to use your imagination. Let's go. Imagine a door in a fancy suit, panting like it's just run a marathon. It slams shut on a cat-shaped phone, shattering its screen. The phone's shattering screen collides with a nearby mud cake, causing it to explode. The explosion leaves a giant stiletto shoe covered in mud. The muddy shoe slips and kicks a nearby radio with rat ears, tuning it to a frantic frequency. The radio's frantic broadcast knocks over a basket of carrots, which roll onto a lion in a police uniform, tripping him. The lion, frustrated, leaps on a gun-shaped bicycle, paddling it away. Now, to remember the list with the chain method, close your eyes and replay the story in your mind. The panting door, the shattered phone, the exploding mud cake, the muddy stiletto shoe, the rat-eared radio, the tripping lion, and the gun-shaped bicycle. I bet you can recall everything on the list. Want to remember it backwards? Just reverse the story in your mind. Start with the lion on the gun-shaped bicycle and work your way back to the door. Each action will trigger the memory of the word before it, and soon you'll have the whole list down backwards. Why is this method so effective for memorization? First, it mirrors how your brain stores information by connecting new information to something familiar. And second, it makes the memory emotional and exaggerated, which engages your brain more deeply. So when you're memorizing with this technique, get creative with your mental images. The more unusual and emotional the story, the easier it'll be to remember. Now, bonus tip. If you want to remember anything you memorize forever, practice something called spaced retrieval. If you want me to dive deeper into this technique, let me know in the comments. Spaced retrieval is like recharging a battery. You revisit what you read at intervals, so it stays fresh in your mind. Review what you've learned after one day, then again after 3 days, a week, and so on. This process moves information from your short-term to long-term memory. Now, before you go, compare how many words you remembered at the start with how many you can recall now. I bet you've doubled your results. If this video helped you, share it with a friend. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more memory-boosting tips.